Hey guys, so Apple just concluded its product launch event yesterday and we have a bunch of new devices to unpack. We've got the new iPad mini, which looks quite interesting. Then there's the budget iPad and the new Watch Series 7. But like always, I am pretty pumped up for the new iPhones. Among the iPhone 13, 13 mini, 13 Pro and the gigantic 13 Pro Max, I think the 13 Pro has got all it takes to be the most well-rounded and practical flagship phone of 2021. Compared to last year's iPhone 12 lineup, Apple has been clever enough to widen the gap between the Pro and non-Pro models this year. Here, the Pro models features new cameras, a 120Hz refresh rate, better GPU, which makes me feel really bad for the regular iPhone 13. And I think Apple acknowledged this right away and upped the base storage from 64GB to 128GB on the regular iPhone 13. Hence, the price difference between the 128GB model of the iPhone 13 and the 13 Pro is now $200 and not $120 like last year. Anyway, the biggest reason to go with the Pro models this year has to be the 120Hz refresh rate support, which Apple calls ProMotion. I am still a little salty about the lacking always-on display support, but the company has ultimately caved into the high refresh rate bandwagon on the 13 Pro and Pro Max, which might be a big reason for the last-gen iPhone users to even considering upgrading this early. As expected, the iPhone 13 Pro's OLED display is adaptive. That is, it can shift from 10 to 120Hz depending on the content, just like some of the high-end Android flagship phones out there. But looking at Apple's track record and its tight grip on custom hardware and software solutions, I am expecting it to be better implemented here. Likewise, this adaptive refresh rate should also contribute to better battery endurance if you watch video contents a lot. The iPhone 13 Pro is rated to last for up to 20 hours under video streaming, which is about 80% more compared to 11 hours video streaming on the iPhone 12 Pro. Plus, Apple's entry into the high refresh rate trend also means exciting mobile gaming capabilities. That, complemented with A15 Bionic's improved GPU performance, further cements the iPhone 13 Pro as a powerful gaming machine. One thing to note is that the Pro models in the iPhone 13 series have a 5-core GPU contrary to the 4-core GPU on the standard iPhone 13 and 13 mini. It is similar to what Apple does with its MacBook Air and Pro lineup, but I think this was needless and a bit of a slap on the face for the regular iPhone 13. On top of this, you get superior camera capabilities on the 13 Pro and Pro Max too. Aided by the new image signal processor and a more powerful neural engine, these iPhones introduce something called ProRes videos. Coming this fall, it's a lossy video compression format that's popular with editing softwares like Apple's own Final Cut Pro X, Adobe Premiere Pro, and DaVinci Resolve. The main benefit of shooting in ProRes is better retention of image quality and color than H.264 and H.265 compression algorithms on past iPhones. Besides recording in ProRes, the iPhone 13 Pro series lets you edit them on the smartphone itself. Now, we have been relying on H.264 codecs for all our videos, so it will be interesting to play around with ProRes. Interestingly, the 128GB storage variants of these phones are capped to 1080p 30fps ProRes recordings, whereas higher capacity models even support 4K 30fps. Another new video recording feature that's caught my eye is the cinematic mode. Mimicking the rack focus technique that filmmakers use to convey depth and emphasis on a scene, the iPhone 13 series takes pro-grade filmmaking from smartphones to the next level. Under this, the camera can manually switch focus between the foreground and background elements on a frame, or you can do it manually if you'd want as well. Although it's limited to 1080p 30fps resolution for now, I am sure I am going to have a lot of fun using the cinematic mode. Moreover, Apple says that you can shift between subject focus or bokeh levels even after recording a video for the ultimate creative control, as the camera also records a depth map alongside the video. By default, this mode records in Dolby Vision HDR, and you can edit both ProRes and cinematic mode videos using the Photos or the iMovie app. Aside from a couple of supreme video recording features, Apple has also given the back camera setup on the iPhone 13 series a fresh overhaul. While the iPhone 13 and 13 mini gets an upgrade with the lens and the sensor shift technology from last year's 12 Pro Max, the 13 Pro and the 13 Pro Max get even better camera setups. Here, the primary wide-angle camera now uses a larger f1.5 aperture lens with 1.9 macron pixels. As a result, Apple is promising up to 1.5 times better low-light photography with reduced noise coming from the iPhone 12 Pro Max. More importantly, Apple claims that the new 6-element f1.8 ultra-wide-angle lens can now capture as much as 92% more light. Plus, this autofocus-enabled ultra-wide-angle camera also introduces macro photography on these phones with a focus distance as low as 2 centimeters. The third 12-megapixel telephoto camera now uses a 77mm f2.8 lens that delivers 3 times optical zoom, contrary to the 65mm f2.2 lens capable of up to 2.5 times optical zoom on the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Moving on, the new iPhones also bring the upgraded Smart HDR4 algorithm to better adjust highlights, shadows, and contours when shooting photos under relatively bright conditions. Furthermore, the photographic styles feature can now intelligently apply different adjustments to selective areas of a photo instead of the whole image like a filter. Apparently, you can even set presets that apply to every image you click rather than having to edit them one by one. Oh, and the aforementioned features like ProRes video, cinematic mode, and photographic styles are available on the selfie camera as well. While that's definitely something to cherish, Apple still is not done with the ugly bathtub notch, even though it's managed to shrink it narrower by 20% on the iPhone 13 series. Besides the stellar camera capability, the iPhone 13 Pro also gets the all-premium treatment as its Max counterpart this time. If you recall, the iPhone 12 Pro Max last year had a better camera setup than the iPhone 12 Pro. But the main reason why I am favoring the 13 Pro over the Max this time is the fact that it is also considerably lighter. At 204 grams, although the iPhone 13 Pro is still 10% heavier than its predecessor. However, the 13 Pro Max is significantly hefty at 240 grams, and I even had trouble using the iPhone 12 Pro Max that weighed 228 grams. So you get the gist. Adding insult to the injury is the surprisingly sorry state of iOS on such large phones. Maybe Apple has made things simpler with the iOS 15, let's hope. So unless the bulky form factor of the iPhone 13 Pro Max does not bother you and you're absolutely fixated on getting a large iPhone with a bigger battery, then I feel like the iPhone 13 Pro is the best iPhone of 2021. And like I mentioned in the beginning, the gap in terms of features between the Pro and non-Pro iPhones this year is far too wide. The standard iPhone 13 starts at $799, whereas adding a couple of $100 more, the iPhone 13 Pro offers a far superior cameras, 120Hz refresh rate, brighter display, better battery life, premium design, and a more powerful GPU. So guys, that's all for this video. I will be coming up with the reviews of all the iPhones pretty soon, so stay tuned to Gadget Byte for more tech content like this. Till then, I'm Pratima and I'll see you in the next video.